alone at the zoo today because you guys know that we film a little bit in advance, right? So today is actually Easter. So happy belated Easter, by the way. I hope that your Easters were absolutely amazing. But on Easter, we do give the entire crew off. Well, with the exception of me and Jay, of course. So we're here not only checking on the animals, also do a little vlog for you guys too. What you got to remember is that the animals like Brillo here don't take the days off. And in particular, mammals need to eat every single day. So we can't just skip a day. With reptiles, you can kind of go like, hey, it's okay if I don't feed crickets or whatever. They're going to be fine with the day without food. But we have to, number one, make sure that the mammals are fed, including Brillo and, of course, my guy Drogo. Drogo gets fresh water every day. He gets a little bit of veggies here, which you can see he didn't eat a whole lot. He's kind of picky, to be honest with you. He really likes this food the most, and we give him this too. This is a Missouri leaf eater diet, so it's great for sloths and primates. But we'll go ahead, we'll refresh all of this up. We'll give him some fresh water, we'll give him some fresh Missouri, and then my guy Drogo over here, my baby, will be completely fine. Right, Drogo? Happy Easter, buddy. How are you? Oh, you silly little monkey, you. You're such a cutie. I love this guy so much. So we'll get him set up, and then we'll just go through the rest of the zoo and make sure that everything is good. Another thing we have to feed every single day, of course, are our fish, because obviously if you skip days on fish, you could potentially kill them. And I tell you what, it's amazing. You know, we went through so many fish over the last couple years trying to figure out how to keep these things alive and do well. And I tell you, as soon as we put this chiller on here, we have done so well. We got 200 gear of fish per tank, I think about 2.5 months ago, and there's still probably 150 plus per tank. Now you're going to have some attrition because, you know, that's just the way these types of fish are. So we're going to lose some fish here and there. To only lose maybe 30, 40, the most 50 in the last 2.5 months, pretty spectacular. I can't believe that these guys are doing so well. They need to get fed every single day so that they can stay healthy. And I tell you what, it's amazing how big they are. As they're getting bigger and have been here and established for a while, now when you put your feet in here, oh my gosh, it is absolutely like a buzzsaw. It is such a good feeling. As for the rest of the zoo, I just want to look at every single enclosure. It's so cool that Tyson, the albino box turtle, is out and about. You know, again, he spent a lot of the winter kind of hunkered down. Now that the weather is starting to break, he's out. Look at him. He's like, hey, what's going on? And he gets fed pretty much every day too. He'll be fine with one day off. Mike will feed him really well tomorrow. But basically what I want to do is just check every enclosure. Make sure, number one, if there's like soiled water, we'll change the water. Or if there's something that's really like, you know, jumps out at me and says like, oh, I've got to make sure I do it. You don't want your animals to go 2 days without, you know, any attention. Of course, my girl Ivy, she's been up on land the last few days, which is pretty cool. She is a beast. Look at how big she looks. I mean, she is absolutely an incredible animal. And when it comes to like days like today, later, a holiday, because I do have my grandson and my daughter, and Noah's coming over later on and stuff like that, so I don't want to spend the whole day at the reptile zoo. So if I see a little bit of like urate or something like that, I'm not that worried about that, right? Nothing that is going to actually affect the animal. If there's poop in the water or they peed in the water, I want to do it again. You can see Al Machino here, which looks absolutely incredible. Just a little urate down here. I mean, I could pick it out, but it's going to be fine. We're not open today. Tomorrow, Mike will get it out and it'll be completely fine. Check out salt and pepper, make sure they're okay. How big these beasties are getting. I tell you what, it's absolutely incredible. And you know, it's been a while since I've been at the reptile zoo alone, to be honest with you. Actually, probably since I was diagnosed, I haven't been here alone, because normally what would happen is at night, I would actually stay here later and everyone else was gone. Well, lately, I just haven't had the energy. And now that I'm in treatment, my energy is even a little bit zapped more. Oftentimes, I'm out of here before everyone else. By the way, look at Snap and Pop. They're doing good. Pop is rebounding really well from her eggs. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on today. When you keep animals, even as pets, you know, obviously the zoo is a different situation. You know, remember that your birthday, holidays, your days off and stuff like that, these animals still need attention, right? And if you don't give them that attention they deserve, that's when things go wrong. So I just, again, looking at every single enclosure and making sure that every single thing is okay. Bowser's completely fine, the turtles are completely fine. And there's just a few animals that I will like feed. But so far the place looks really good. I mean, I don't see anything that I'm concerned about. I haven't even found any dirty waters, which is really good. Look at Freya over here. Look at how big she's starting to get. I mean, she is just doing so well. This is an animal that I love to death. I cannot wait till she gets a little more size to her. She's still a little bit squiggly, there's no doubt about it, but she calms down pretty good. See how she does this? I mean, just a month ago, if you tried to do this to her, she would have been all over the place. She's definitely getting good. She's still got her mouth open and stuff like that, but she is a cool animal. I can't believe that we now have another albino alligator. How cool is that? But she looks good. Gosh, I tell you what, the guys really kept the place good last night. I know last night we're actually open to the public, so a lot of times at the end of the night, you know, our crew will go through and just kind of check water, make sure everything is okay, especially with the fact that they knew today was off. We wanted to make sure that the place was in good shape, but it is completely great. As a matter of fact, I figured I was going to be doing a lot more work. I may be out of here sooner than I think, to be honest with you. Oh, take a look at this. I don't know if you guys can even see, but our milk frog tadpoles are starting to hatch. This is our third clutch of eggs that we've had from them. We metamorphosed the first one. The second ones are in the process of metamorphosing now. And then these ones have just started to hatch, and you can see them swimming around in the water a little bit. What we learned is that the second clutch, we tried to take the eggs out and hatch them separately, and we didn't have as high of a hatch rate. So what we think we're going to do now is always leave them in here, let them hatch in here, and then rear them over at BHB. It just seems to be the better thing. But it's crazy to think that we've had 3 clutches of milk frogs. I mean, how cool is that? The New Year Mastics are doing really great. Look at this little guy. Oh my God. It's out and about. What a beautiful snake, right? Absolutely wonderful. But looks like everything's going pretty good here. I can't see anything that I need to do. Oh, I did want to tell you this one thing. Kind of a little story time for you guys. Interesting enough, when I was breeding Burmese pythons when I was like 18, 19, 20, you know, that was my big thing. I had Collubrid. Burmese pythons, they were like the ball python back then. Everyone was breeding them for investment. There were albinos, there were labyrinths, there were green Burmese pythons. But a lot of stuff was just even getting going. Like there were no hypos at the time, no granite Burmese at the time. And so that was really what my business started to grow on, was Burmese pythons. At that point, I think I had about 40 females. Think about that, 40 adult females I was breeding. Absolutely crazy to think that we were producing that many baby Burmese pythons. I think my largest clutch was 98 eggs. Came from a girl named Clea. She was like a 20-foot Burmese python. Not a very friendly girl either. She laid 98 eggs. I was kind of bummed that we missed 100 by 2, but I was still pretty happy to get 98 babies. What was interesting is that almost every year from like 18 to probably when I was 22, 23 and kind of started slowing down breeding Burmese pythons, I used to get Easter eggs, Burmese Easter eggs. It was just always like cool. For whatever reason, it just always fell on the fact that when it was Easter, I was going to get eggs. And even now, you know, sometimes I'll get ball python eggs or Collubrid eggs. But unfortunately today, no eggs. I don't think that there's anything coming out today. Speaking of eggs, those black-headed python eggs that we had about a month ago, they're about a month in right now, so they have about 30 days left before they start to hatch. We had 8 eggs. Unfortunately, we did lose 2 eggs, but it looks like 6 eggs still look really good and look like they're gonna go, so it is pretty cool that we have some eggs cooking when it comes to blackheads. Remember yesterday's video, if you guys watched, the second black-headed python just ovulated, so we're gonna have a second clutch. Hopefully they'll be fertile. She's a much bigger girl, so I think that 8 eggs from Pop was a lot. I think she's gonna have more like 10 or 12 eggs, which is gonna be pretty darn exciting. There's no doubt about that. But not only do we have to check the Reptile, we also have to check BHB on days like today. And basically we do the exact same thing. We do a little bit of a walkthrough. You know, the first thing I always talk to people about, and I've told you guys before, use your nose. If something smells weird, try to find whatever that weird smell is. Maybe it's like a rodent that you put in a frozen thaw that you forgot or something like that. On days off, I find things like that happen a lot, right? Where, you know, someone fed on Friday, checked on Saturday, but, you know, the rat got kind of hidden underneath the paper or something like that. By Sunday, Easter Sunday, no one's here. Now it stinks. Thankfully, things smell really good here. So use all your senses, you know, use your ears, use your eyes, and use your nose to try to see it. So I'm just basically walking through. What we'll do too is probably check really quick to see if there's any male ball pythons hooked up, just so that we can mark anything that's actually breeding. And then of course we may even actually switch some males and females around just to get some breeding cycles. So that's one of the things we'll do here at BHB. Other than that, just kind of look around, make sure everything's okay. RJ's okay. All the overflow animals here look really good. Again, anything that does need to get fed, we'll feed really quick. I don't see anything at BHB down here in the dungeon anyway, so things are looking pretty good down here for now. The other thing I want to do too is check for babies, right? Because like our albino rainbow boa is here. This girl is gravid as could be. You can see how fat she is. She's gonna have babies pretty soon, so I'm always looking for babies too when it comes. This is about the time of year when you start having rainbow boas, and that's going to be really, really exciting. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like we have any babies yet. You know, you usually just see them kind of crawling around. That's going to be an exciting day for me. You know, it's not always just about like checking. Yeah, of course it's important to check when you're here alone, but you can also admire stuff too. This is actually a black pastel spider pumpkin. Look at the color on that animal right there. That pumpkin gene is something else. Super excited to see what's going to happen with this. This is actually a cine yellow belly mystery animal here, which is interesting. You can see that real freckling down the belly. That seems to be what that Scooby gene is about, so that's pretty cool. And then of course we have a pewter mystery gene here. So a lot of times, you know, not only am I checking for like making sure everything is going to be good, which by the way, look at this animal here. This is actually a cine Woma paint ball python. Look at that. Are you kidding me right now? That thing is ridiculous. Cine Woma paint ball python. That one, when it hatched, I was so excited about it. You know, I also get an opportunity when I'm here alone to just kind of cruise around and look at some amazing animals. You guys may remember when I got this one from Oz, actually, over at Ozzy Boyd. It's absolutely beautiful. This is actually a super orange dream yellow belly Enchi leopard piebald ball python. It's going to be an absolute ripper when we can actually breed that animal. And take a look at this one right here. Oh my god. Remember the first scaleless ball python we produced earlier this year? Well, look at how big she's getting. She looks so good. She's doing really well. And I talked about the fact that the scaleless is that you need to keep them really dry, and then when they go into shed, you moisten them up, you let them shed out, and then after they shed out, you keep them really dry again. And when you could do that, you can really do well with them. It's like when you walk around, you just see stuff. You're just like, wow, it's just so absolutely amazing to see all the animals. You know, it doesn't matter how long I've been doing this, I still get so excited. Look at this banana blade Enchi clown ball python. Look at how clean that is, and that head stamp is so absolutely incredible. So again, you know, it's kind of therapeutic as well, right? Especially with all the things that I'm going through right now, to be able to spend some time and just be happy with the animals. Dungeon looks good. I'm going to do a real quick check upstairs at BHB, then I'm going to do the New Caledonia room and the Collubrid room, and then I think we're done. Again, this is Jessica's section here, so I don't want to mess with things too much. There's geckos, there's frogs, there's all kinds of things that I don't even know what Jessica does. So I'm just kind of looking around to see if I see anything that might be like, oh, maybe I need to take care of this, but it looks like everything's okay. Tadpoles are getting big already. Don't have any legs yet on them, but they're definitely getting close to, they'll probably start getting some legs pretty soon. And then, like I said, we'll bring the tadpoles from next door over. In the meantime, I'm just going to look and just make sure again that everything seems okay with our leopard geckos, which seems completely fine. Here's Speedy, of course. Hey, Speedy. Making a mess of the floors as always. The good news is that we're supposed to be like in the 70s and 80s later this week, so I think within a week, 2 weeks tops, we're gonna be able to bring Speedy back home to the backyard, which is gonna be amazing. The last thing I just really have to check is just the Collubrids here. You know, again, not doing a whole lot, just looking, making sure everything's okay. You know, maybe opening a drawer or two and just seeing some absolutely beautiful animals, like this melanistic Dion's rat snake. I mean, look at how beautiful that snake is. I tell you, Dion's rat snakes, not a lot of people work with them, but they're an underrated snake. They're super cool. Here's one of our lavender snow cal kings right here. Oop, it just peed and pooped on me, which is not the best thing I can do right now. I'm gonna have to stay a little bit more clean than I used to do, right? You know, so I'm washing my hands a lot more often because my immune system is definitely not what it used to be. Let's head down to the basement next door, just make sure the New Caledonia room's good and the BHB Collubrid room is good. It's pretty easy to check the Collubrid room nowadays with it being so small, but we're gonna see if there's anything kind of starting to swell up at all. A lot of breeding. This is, doesn't look like we have a lot of eggs kind of on the horizon. We did start a little bit later this year, so I'm thinking eggs are probably still another 3, maybe even 4 weeks away. But who knows, we could get some stuff a little bit earlier. You guys just gotta see what things happen. Look at these tiger scaleless. Sheesh, oh Pete's, man. Tiger scaleless corns are freaking crazy, man. They are so beautiful. Again, I know Lori actually was going to come today. She's like, oh, I'll come and check the stuff. You just rest. I wanted to get away. You know, I don't want to just sit around and rest all day long. I was like, no, you stay home with the fam. I'll come here. Lori will come here tomorrow, feed the Collubrids, make sure everything's getting bred. Like I said, probably 3 or 4 weeks away from our first clutches of eggs. Speaking of Easter eggs, look at all the eggs we're getting from our New Caledonia gecko. There's a ton of eggs coming in. We got lychee eggs, we got gargoyle eggs, we got cave gecko eggs. Got just a ton of cool. Oh, wait a second. Look at this. Oh, look at this. We got a little baby Cresty. Look at that. How cute is that? Oh my God, that is so adorable. Look at it. It's a pretty little one too. Wow. That's awesome. I'll keep that right here so that Jessica knows what to do with it, because I have no idea. If I do something with it, she'll be mad at me, I'm sure. So I got to be careful. But New Cal room looks great. You know, Jessica's got her little plants going on over here. She's doing all kinds of stuff with plants now. It's awesome because she's super excited about it. And I think they're absolutely amazing. So she's doing a great job. And that way you can continue to replenish these beautiful cages and redo them. You can see she's always kind of tinkering with cages, you know, which is really cool. And that's what you have to do. So yeah, all in all, place looks good. I can't reiterate enough how important it is, no matter what your days are, to check your animals even on your days off or whatever, or have someone else check it if you're traveling. Not to mention, for me, it was kind of therapeutic to come here, be alone, just kind of, well, alone with Jay, obviously, walk around and stuff like that. I did want to give you guys a little bit of an update how I've been feeling. I'm on day 6 after chemo. Chemo is every 2 weeks, right? So typically what they say is that day 6 is usually when you turn the corner and you start to feel a little bit better. I'm not going to lie, I've had a couple tough days. I've been able to work in the morning, but by afternoon, I've been feeling pretty crappy. cruddy the last 3 days in particular. I'm hoping today I'll feel actually better and get through the day. I don't know. I have heard that if you don't feel good on day 6, typically on day 7 you start to feel better. So with any luck, tomorrow I'll start to feel good, and I'll have almost a week of kind of feeling a little bit better. Probably not the energy level that I normally have, but at least better, to the point where you get your strength back, do that battle again. Anyone that's had chemo, gone through chemo, going through chemo, knows someone that's gone through chemo, knows it's not easy. It's mentally challenging, it's physically challenging, it's difficult. I'm in the very, very early stages, and I know that it's going to really wear on me over the next several months, but at the same time, you know, I've got to try to stay mentally positive, try mentally as tough as I possibly can, knowing that this treatment is going to cure or at least kill as much of this cancer as possible. So for those of you guys that have been interested, you know, I'm hanging in there. You know, that's the best I can do. I'm doing as much as I can, trying to keep life as normal as I can. There are definitely times that it is a challenge. There's no doubt about it. Regardless, I hope that you guys had a great Easter a few days ago. I'm going to go spend the rest of the day with my family.
Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, there's a playlist that you can watch all kinds of videos. You can also hit that subscription button. It would mean a lot to me. Also, hit that like button while you're down there. Have a wonderful day, Reptile Army. Remember, be kind to someone, and I promise I'll see you in the next one.